Good evening from my new room here. Well, it's not new. It is evening time, as you'll see. The sun is setting in my gorgeous lounge that Nick has provided. Wherever you are, welcome. I know some of you are, it's afternoon and some are morning. It's lovely to have you here, and it's great to see the chat going on. That's fantastic. It makes you feel like you're part of a choir, a team, which is what tonight is all about. We've got people here from, I'm going to list out some of the countries that I've seen because it just blows my mind. France, New York, Catalonia, Ireland, Belgium, Scotland, Wales, Sweden. I've been to Sweden once. I loved it, by the way. Loved Sweden. Would like to go back to there. Hi, everybody. Bath, Bristol, yes. Liverpool, I've seen. Canada, Germany, Texas, California. Someone from Winchester. Remember, if you're in Winchester, go and say hello to my mother-in-law in Cornflowers, the shop in Winchester. Little plug for them. And if there's anyone there from a little village in Cookham, near Maidenhead in Berkshire, give me a wave, because that's where I was brought up, and my mum is probably watching, my mum and dad, but probably not able to chat because that's a little bit too techie. So if you are Bracknell, oh, that's just down the road, isn't it? Yes. I would love to come back to Sweden. I went as a scout and did a couple of those sort of wild jamborees, and it was fantastic. Lovely people, lovely, just everything about it. I loved Sweden. I would love to go back. I will. So, lots of people coming in here with even languages that I can't read. Yes, Hungary, apparently. Someone from Hungary. Wow. Canada? Yes, Canada. Denmark? Wow. I used to drink there in the... Cookham, yes. Can't remember the name of the pub in... Yes, the Ferry. Right next door to the river and the bridge. And the little church, Holy Trinity Church, next door, was where I used to sing as the choir boy from the age of 8. I think I did almost 8 or 9 years in that little village church there with a fantastic choir mistress, Sarah Wood, who was brilliant, and I loved everything about that little place, and it was lovely. Learned so much from her, and from being in that was my first choir. And then just being in loads of choirs, of course, you learn so much stuff. So, a plan of action for this evening, apart from just reading out all the places where you all come from, we are here to actually do a little bit of rehearsal. Yes, of course we are. So the plan of action is we're going to have a warm-up in my lovely room. We will then sing through the Lacrimosa, the Domine Jesu and Hostias, and they will be recording opportunities. So if you want to record live while we're going, great, but they will be marked with the little red spot. So that will be lovely. Then we're going to have a little break, quick glass of wine, so make sure your glass of wine is ordered for when you shout, "I'm doing the last number, Hostias, can you get me a glass of wine ready?" or a cup of tea or whatever it is, which should be around 8:40ish. Then, if we're lucky and all the technology holds up, Nick from Run by Singers will be joining us on the telephone, and he will be asking me questions. I'll be asking you questions. You can chat and ask him questions. We will specifically be talking about what the next thing is that you can join in as well, which will be Christmas. I whisper that one. But we will come to that in the interval. Then, after our little sort of 10-minute of a little breather, hopefully Nick can do more talking than I can. Then I get a little breather. Then we go on and record the last 4. You don't have to record. You could just sit here and sing along. The last song, I've got a recording from our engineer as a little bit of a treat for you, a little taster. It's not the final product, but you will be singing along with the 4 singers, plus in the background a little bit more than the organ, which will be very exciting. It just gives a little bit more, but I am pumping the vocals out more, so you're really in time with them. But if you listen a little bit harder, you'll hear some of our orchestra players as well. I did just whisper Word. Yes. Yes. It is a word that is now getting a little bit more go-y. So, that's the plan of action. A few other housekeeping notes before we get cracking. It's a bit like that last rehearsal where we do you must sell tickets. We'll do the raffle. We'll give flowers to Doris as well, who's been making tea for the last 10 weeks. And all those sort of things. So we'll get this out the way, some of those things. If you can, during the evening, please subscribe to Run by Singers, this YouTube channel. Somewhere down there, there'll be a button. And you can subscribe. And all that means is, you get a little notification that says, oh, there's a new video being put up by Run by Singers. But if we get to 500, it means that we can then do some mobile videoing, which means that if we're in another place in the future where we can actually meet together, you might be able to watch virtually live, which is very exciting. Later on, tomorrow, English time, Nick will be sending out the table, the lovely table with all the links on how to send out stuff for you to do your Dropbox, to drop something in and send it. That will all be on that table, really, really clear. Thank you very much for subscribing. Now, there's a couple of people that have been doing it, and I did it exactly this way. I recorded, and I thought, right, I've now recorded, I've renamed it, and I'm going to now try and send it to Dropbox. And it's like, I can't send it, I can't find it. You have to think of it the other way round. Record it, name it, done. Put it aside. Do the next one, do lots of them. Then you go to Nick's email and you find the Dropbox. You go to Dropbox and you click on the button that says add files, and then you add your file to that specific Dropbox. It works that way round, okay? So you need to go and find the Dropbox to put it in rather than trying to post it out. So that's how that works. The concert, some of you might have been asking about the concert, the Mozart's Requiem concert on the 5th of December. How that's going to work is you are still invited to come and sing. Please bring your music to the concert. Please dress up. Make an evening of it. See if you can plug YouTube into your big sound system or something like that, which would be lovely. What will you see and what will you hear? Well, you will hear all of your recordings put together along with the orchestra. What will you see? You will see me conducting. I won't be in this room, I'll be somewhere else. You'll see me conducting, and you can sing along with yourselves in the big choir and also hearing the orchestra. So that's how that will be working. Good. Any other questions? Well done. Yeah, stick with it. Do ask a friend on the Dropbox sometimes. Yes, it does help to have a friend, a techie friend. So I think we'll start off with a warm-up in a moment. Good question there from the Tearaways. Will the concert be available to see after the 5th? I think the answer, I don't know. We'll have to ask Nick, who's sitting there writing answers to some of the questions that I don't know the techie answers to. But I think the answer is yes. I think the link will still be there. You won't be able to publicly share it around, but you will be able to see that. Right, it's 8:08. We ought to do some singing and do some warming up. So, in all of our sessions this week, we've been doing some sirening. So we'll start with some of that, which is just that humming where we get our pitch goes up and down, okay? And you do it in your own time, okay? Feel free to take longer than me, or be quicker, or go higher, or go lower. But what we're doing is... last one. Good. And now this little pattern, and we did mi and ma. Ready, and mi 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 ma 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 ma. Now mi 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 ma 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 ma. Busy one. Mi 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 ma 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 ma. Cows. Good. The CD is already available to buy in advance. Woohoo! You need to go to a website which you will get a link for, but it's run by singers.online, and you can pre-order your CD of the Mozart's Requiem already. Yes, I know. How exciting is that? But you will get information about that, and deadlines for submission is Sunday night. But you might get some more information from Nick on that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sing a little round like we did last time in 4 parts just to get you warmed up. So we're going to put some music and some lyrics on the screen. This side, whoops. If it's a bit too small, don't worry, you'll pick it up. This is a piece of Lassus, and it goes like this. Oh, lovely spring, are all these flowers for our delight. We'll do that one. 1, 2. Oh, lovely spring, are all these flowers for our delight. The song of birds and sweet perfume. Go. The song of birds and sweet perfume. And we've got long notes there, just like we have in a lot of this Mozart. Lots of long notes. So when we get those long notes, if we can crescendo through them, put a little bit of colour into each one of those long notes that's on that line. Let's go from the beginning again. Oh, lovely. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Oh, lovely spring, are all these flowers for our delight. The song of birds and sweet perfume, the nests that are hiding in the woods, and even the silver moon above the lake at night. So that's the last bit. If you're a good sight reader, you'll have nailed that pretty quick, I should think. Let's just do that third line, this one, that one there. Yeah, one more time, and then we're going to try it straight as a round. The nest, 1, 2, 3. The nests that are hiding in the woods, and even the silver moon above the lake at night. All the way through. Oh, lovely spring, are all these flowers for our delight. The song of birds and sweet perfume, the nests that are hiding in the woods, and even the silver moon above the lake at night. It's a beautiful tune. Now, we were just singing there at Baroque pitch at 4:30, and the recording I've got has got it singing at 4:40. So we now need to just brighten our eyes a little bit. Just have a listen to the very beginning of this gentleman singing. It's not me, somebody else having a go at singing. It's the same chap who was singing last week, Craig. Have a listen, just to the first line. We're now in this key.
Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight.
And then the second group come in.
Oh, lovely spring are all...
etc. So you can join in, either be the first group, the second group, the third group, or the fourth group. It's up to you. If you want to just get on with it, and you get to sing it twice if you're in the first group. If you're in the last group, you get to sing it less. But then you might have a bit more time to listen. But really enjoy those longer notes, and you will hear the other parts clashing against you and resolving. And there's lots of polyphony in this one. Okay? So you hear a little pling, and then he starts. Here we go.
Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight.
2.
Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight. Oh, lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight.
Last
Oh,
time.
lovely spring are all these flowers for our delight.
And we could go on and on and on and on, but we won't, because we get stuck in a loop there. Good. I hope that was just something to warm you up with. If I get rid of that one, bing, I can come and sit back in the centre on my stool in my lovely sunlit, dappled room here. Later on, we will return to this room, and it may even be darker. So, now let's go and find Mozart. And we're going to start at the Lacrimosa. It is a lovely canon, isn't it? Lovely canon. And thank you very much, Craig Briglish from communitychoirs.net for providing that. So, Lacrimosa and the legendary blue bottle. That occasionally you can see through it. That's quite clever. Yes. So what we're going to do is just chat through Lacrimosa. I think because this is the first one of this evening, we will give it 2 goes through, and it's short. But after that, we're just going to chat, get a tempo, recording opportunity, do it. And of course, you can rewind and play whenever you like and all that stuff. So you're getting the hang of this the way it works now. So, Lacrimosa, a couple of things now. Obviously, I can't hear what you're doing, so I have to remind you of all the same things that you've probably written in your score. But I'm hoping that the reminder is going to mean that you will then do these things. So the Lacrimosa, we have those crescendos and ins and outs at the beginning. Lacrimosa, we come there. Dies illa, and then qua, re, sol, jet, ex, fa, boom, dum cha, all coming off. And then when we get to the Judicar, make sure you don't start too loud so that you've got somewhere to go. A crescendo. So mezzo forte probably. And then you can get up to that top A, can't you, sopranos, and enjoy that one. There's just a moment where it just slows down before the reprise, the sotto voce at bar 9. Just a moment. So hang off that little bit. Okay. And then off we go. With our Lacrimosa in sotto voce, we have some louds, we have some softs. Weak ergo is something that's really small and just grows and grows and grows. Then we have an organ bit. We come back and it's nice and full and strong. And right at the very end, if you skip to the very end, you'll see we've got the off, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, off on 7. So we're going to have a sing through. I will create a recording opportunity, and that will be the one that will be the best one to use when you're having a go at recording. But this one, let's just sing it through because it's the first time we've had a go at this, and you're all waking up and now getting into Mozart mode. Here we go, Lacrimosa, which is on page 52 if you're in the PDF. If you're on something else, please chuck it in the chat. Here we go. Great. It reminded me of just one of those little breathing techniques, ideas that we talked about in some of the individual groups. Surprised, I'm never too sure whether I was repeating it in all of the groups, but making sure that you breathe early enough. And I was calling it an outie innie, that right at the beginning, don't just be sitting there listening to the organ thinking, okay, I'm going to breathe. La. No. Sort that breathing out so that you're grounded and rooted. Sometimes it helps to just, while the organ's going on, take a bar to breathe out, a bar to breathe in, and then it just floats out on that top of the point where you've just got enough breath. And you can do that a lot in this one. There's other numbers that you're just snatching breaths here, etc, etc, etc. That alto at bar 25, as first two alto notes, bar 25, D or A. They're Ds. Margaret Jones, they are Ds, 2 Ds. So, here we go with a recording opportunity with that nice deep breath so that you can give it broad and round. Before we do a recording opportunity, we are just going to practice, just to help our sound engineers out, we're going to practice clapping. Now, this clapping, you don't clap when you want to, The whole point of this exercise, of the clapping, is you clap exactly when I clap. It's a bit like, have you seen on the films where they bring in the clapperboard and the clack, and they still use the clackerboards today. It's still a physical noise, yeah? They have an electronic sign on it, but it's still a physical thing that goes clack. And it's that the sound engineer lines up. So if you've not clapped at the same time as everybody else, all the music's a bit higgledy-piggledy. It just saves hours and hours of time. So I always go, we're going to clap on 3. So you're going to clap with me on 3. Let's have a practice. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. I'm glad you've practiced that. Clapping in time, make it really precise. And the more precise you are, the less work those guys will have to do, and they can concentrate more on making us sound lovely rather than just lining us up. There are thousands of files coming in. I think we have up something like 12 engineers now sorting all of these parts out and lining them up for us. It is a mammoth task, and I don't envy them in the slightest, but they're going to do a fantastic job. So well done. Here comes the recording opportunity, so we'll get straight to it. Ready? The light is on for recording. Lacrimosa, clap on 3 with me. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Let's turn that little light off, because you can always come back to that one. Bar 12 syllables don't seem to match with what we were told. Bar 12. In the altos, X. No, it doesn't match. You do what... that's one of those circumstances where you do what you were told, not what you hear. Most of the time you do what you hear and what you're told. But in this circumstance, it's one of those ones. It's what I told you, which was ex favilla you, and you put that on the end. Pronunciation, last syllable, abrahe, abrahe, hey, like that. Cool. Let's go and have a look at Domine Jesu. Moving on. This is a lively little number. and just have a flick through of anything that we need to worry about before we have a recording opportunity. We've got the solos in the middle. Do record the whole thing. Just sit there tight, listening along. In your rehearsal, try and sing one of the solos there, because they're there. You might as well join in. But when you record it, it'd be easier if you don't sing. Bar 12, should we follow singers? On that one that we've just done, I'm assuming you're talking about, if you're an alto, you're following what I say, which is putting the La on the last quaver. So, Domine Jesu, other things, Promisisti, Zisti, Zedai, if we can get that in there, Promisisti. And remember we had, every now and then, we had a bit of Quamolim. We don't want Quamolim. Quamolim Abrahe. Aim for the Abrahe. That's where we're aiming for. So don't bite it. Don't bite it. Don't snatch it. Okay? And at the very end, we're going to come off on 7. The magic number 7. Okay? All the way to the end. Let's get our dynamics in. All the other little things that we've talked about in rehearsals are still there, all those little wrong notes. If you've got any questions, you can always go back to the sectional rehearsals and check some of those little bits as well. But this one, we start bang on, don't we? So what we'll do, we'll just sing the opening, just to get the tempo and the feel, and then we'll make a recording opportunity. Okay? Bass, tenor, alto. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Domine Jesu Christe, Rex Gloriae, Rex Gloriae,
etc, etc, etc. Okay, so that's the pulse that we've got to be going at, and hopefully I'm going to press that button all at the right time, and you're going to breathe in, and it'll be on the count of 4, and off we go. So let's record and see how we go. Remember, if it doesn't record, if this doesn't work for you, it's just you will do it another time, anytime before Sunday midnight GMT. I've got to get used to that now. GMT. Oh, yes. Recording opportunity, Domine Jesu, clapping on number 3 with me. 1, 2, 3. Here are the notes.
Domine Jesu Christe, Rex Gloriae, Rex Gloriae,
let's put out the dreaded light that apparently scares some of you. Yes, the dreaded scary red light. Well done. That whipped along nicely. Hope you did well. If you need to redo it, please do. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. We don't want tears. We want enthusiasm. If there's a little bit that you just keep like not getting, and you've just that 1 or 2 bars, and you've practiced it and you still can't get it, just don't sing it. Yeah, and you won't come out. Just like in the choir, when sometimes you're singing, and then you do that. Yeah, that's the great thing about working in a choir, and it still works virtually like that. So don't worry about it, because it is really weird. I know, listening to yourself singing. I've done so much of it in the last. What's it now? 9 months. I've improved since last week. Yay! Well done, Sandy. Yes, well done. Very good. It's lovely to hear that you're improving and getting it better and better and better. Just think, because the other thing is, you submit it, and then you might take a few days off, and then you might think, yeah, but when we come to the concert, I really want to have another go at it, and I want to be better. So you can still go back to the recordings of all the rehearsals, or the recording opportunities on the TUTTI, for example, and just bung that on days before to get your mind and your brain and your voice back into working ready for Mozart's Requiem, the actual concert. Yeah, so that's available. Right. Hostias. Very good. You got lost. Yeah. You got lost. Don't worry. Yeah, keep the mouth going. And pick up where you can. Hostias. So, this is in 3. And remember, we are making it like a waltz. Hostias, 1, 2, 3. A beautiful little waltz, okay? We also have facimus, chimus. Yes. Chi, chi, chi. Then we also have faceas. Yes, we have to be very careful of that one. Then, when we go into the new tempo, where the basses come in with your quam olim abrahe, what's happening there? Just remind you, we have the organ that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Quam olim abrahe. So I'm going to conduct 1, 2, 3, 4 in that gap on that final note of the organ. 1, 2, 3, and quam olim abrahe, and off we go back to our sprightly song. And at the end we are slowing down in the last 3 bars ish, and the very, very last use is 4 counts off on 5. Okay, 4 counts and off on 5. Good. Shall we just... Yes. Yes, you do have to be careful with some of these words, don't we? Thank you for pointing it out. Let's just hear the beginning for a moment to go and get that tempo in our heads. Yeah, and then we shall do our recording opportunity, and then it's a little sneaky glass of wine, I think, halfway through, which is, thank you very much for the bar staff for doing that. Yeah, too tired to record tonight. Just take it easy. Yeah, absolutely. Take tonight easy. You could even just sit there and listen to the 4 parts and follow it in your score. There is so much evidence that says that is really, really, really useful. Just sitting, following the score. It's like sports people, they imagine themselves, running around the court, doing stuff, and doing it faster and better and more accurate, and that improves their performance. You can do exactly the same thing as a singer. You literally sit with the recording and you don't make a noise, but you can sing along and you will improve. Fact. Loads of research on that. So, yeah. Can we run it through once before recording? This one we can, because it's not... Oh, go on. Let's do the beginning. We'll just do up to the quam olim abrahe, and then I get to practice also the little join, okay? Which is always a little bit scary, doing joins. So this is a practice run. Here we go from the beginning.
Laudis offerimus, tu suscime prolibabus Deus, coram Gloriam facimus. Fageas Domine Mozart et transire agnitum. Cam olim habere, promisisti, et semine.
Good. I got the tempo correct. Good. And then we do our Quam Olim Habere. Excellent. Right. Let's do it. Keep smiling. There's another bit of research. Sorry I talk about research sometimes too much, but it's evidence. You can hear when somebody is smiling when they're singing, and you can hear when they're not. So there is this sublime beginning here. It's really beautiful. So smile and enjoy it. And when you're doing the snarly stuff in this, you don't have to smile. Yeah. But certainly in these lighter moments, really smiles, because we will hear the smiles. So a recording opportunity. The light is coming up, and we're going to go all the way through this time. There it is. Recording opportunity for Hostias. Clapping with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Hostias et majestis Tibi Domine, Tibi Domine, laudis offerimus, tu suscime prolibabus Deus, coram gloriam facimus. Hostias et preces, Tibi Domine, laudis offerimus, tu suscime prolibabus Deus, coram Gloriam facimus. Fageas Domine Mozart et transire agnitum. Cam olim habere, promisisti, et seminies. Cam olim habere, promisisti, et seminies. et semini semieus.
Oh, turning that lead right off. Lovely. Good. So we're halfway through. I'm going to run round to my local pub. I'll be about 15 seconds possibly to go and hopefully meet Nick, who hopefully is now going to be on the phone in a moment. So he'll be leaving the comments possibly for a moment and answering the comments verbally. And so we shall go to the pub. So this is your moment now to quickly shout out, can you bring me something? Let's just check. Some of the solos are saying facimus with a hard C. Yeah, absolutely. There's some differences, but I would like faci. Chi as in cheese. Smiling lifts the vocal tract and brightens the voice. Yes, indeed. So, Nick, if you are there and you'd like to chime in, you can do that now, and then I will then go over to the pub. In the meantime, while I wait for Nick to see whether he can get in, because he might not, in which case I'll just go to the pub without him. Other things I need to tell you about that concert on the 5th of December. It would be nice, yes, if you could dress up, take a photograph, send it in. Good question about dynamics. Yes, if all the dynamics that we've talked about in rehearsals, and I generally try to show dynamics by being bigger with my gestures and smaller for my pianissimos. So if you follow that as well, they of course recorded this in complete isolation. All they had was tick, 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 tick in their ears, and very occasionally me going slower, 2, 3 and 4, and so they've done remarkably well to pull it all together. So that would be impressive if we can get that. Good. So let's have a look. Nick, are you coming in? I'm going to go to the pub anyway. So get yourself a glass of wine. I'll be back in literally 10, 15 seconds. That will be it. Okay? Don't go away. Grab something, a drink, or just put your feet up. Okay? See you in 10, 15 seconds. Hello, I'm back. I'm not quite in the pub, but I'm putting on a festive mood. Follow the conductor. Yeah. No, so I've decided I am in a pub, but I'm by the Christmas tree. It's a very large Christmas tree. Tonight I'm on a glass of wine rather than a pint of beer, which I had last time. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Christmas. And the Christmas event. If Nick manages to ping pong in, we'll know that we're there. So, how's the Christmas event going to work? Yes, I'm just doing a quick advert for Christmas. So, on Christmas Eve, we are broadcasting on YouTube, and you are able to join in at home and sing. That's the idea. There's minimal rehearsal, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So we've got the Mike Daniels Brass Quintet. It's an enormous tree, or am I just very small? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I've shrunk. The Mike Daniels Brass Quintet. You met Mike last week, who did us a little demonstration of the trumpet. So he's got 2 trumpets, horn, trombone and tuba. So they will be there. We will have the organist of St Mary's Bathwick in Bath and a small choir that are socially distant. Distancing. Do you like my joke there? We will be distancing. Brum. Okay. So we are going to be recording traditional carols mainly from these 2 books, and I'm going to show you the first book first, the Carols for Choirs number 2, the orange one, which is number 2. I think we're only doing 1 number from that one, and we will also be doing it from this one, and this looks like a magic book. This is Carols for Choirs 1. It's normally green, but because I'm doing a green screen, I can't actually make it show up green. But it is a real book, not a see-through book. It's a real book, Carols for Choirs 1. That's what we're doing stuff from. And the brass quintet will be playing the introductions, which are spectacular. The fanfares for things like "O Come All Ye Faithful," and you've got the organ, so it will sound fantastic. So they're going to be doing all of their arrangements for those carols. They will also be doing a little cheeky brass piece as well, just as a quintet. And I'm very excited about, we will be recording a piece of music that I've arranged as well. And it's an arrangement of Silent Night. I've done it about 10 years ago, but I've rescored it for you guys to make it a little bit easier to learn. And there will be some learning videos and a score that will come out, and so you'll be able to watch and join in. And it's not like a Silent Night that you've probably heard before. Nick has said he really thought it was gorgeous, so I'm hoping it will be. It's got some nice harmonies in it, but it's quite there's some clashing harmonies, but it is beautiful. I hope you'll enjoy that. So that's a little arrangement that we'll be singing as well, and there's a couple of other jolly things. So we're doing that in a recording, and then that will be coming out. And even if you haven't got these books, okay, even if you haven't got these books, and the list will come out, and I'll tell you more about it, you can sing along because the lyrics will come up on the bottom of the screen, okay? The information about what carols will be, that's just being finalised literally over the next sort of 48 hours. So I don't want to tell you exactly, but I know we will be doing "O Come All Ye Faithful," definitely. And we will be doing... no, I won't tell you anymore. Hark the Herald, I think it is, got a great one. Now, let's have a look, see whether this is Nick coming into the room. No, it's not Nick coming into the room. It's somebody else trying to come into the room. So, the carol service will be at 4 o'clock. This could be Nick in a moment. So, if he starts talking to us... that'll be good, and he'll be able to answer any of your other questions that are coming in. Hello, Nick. Are you there? Oh, you've got to turn your mic on, Nick. The old mute. You've got your camera off, which is great, because we had a bit of a slow service. But hopefully, Nick, if you're there, turn your mic on. That would be really useful. Yeah, some of you got... I've got some very old copies of Carols for Choirs. But it's 4 o'clock. If you can't watch it at 4 o'clock... Hello, Nick, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Modern technology. Woo! Excellent.
Yes, modern technology is wonderful. I told you how much I love Zoom. Which is why we're doing all this on YouTube.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it's good to hear your voice there. We are broadcasting at 4 o'clock, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
But of course, the beauty of YouTube, like Zoom, which is not being nice to me today, is you can listen later, you can listen the next day. In fact, we're probably going to keep that up for a while.
Yeah. That's 4 o'clock GMT time, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So you can watch Carols for Kings at the same time, can't you? You can have it on 2 screens.
I'm not sure it's on at exactly the same time.
No.
There's a nice confusion between the lesson of 6 lessons and Carols from Kings, which are 2 separate broadcasts from King's College,
right,
both on Christmas Eve, but at different times. One is live, one is not.
Aha. Okay.
So it's there to confuse us.
Yes. Excellent.
But Christmas is going to be great. I mean, what I've always loved about Christmas carols is those fanfares, those Wilcox fanfares, and I'm thrilled skinny that we've got Mike Daniels and his quintet to play those wonderful brass pieces and to accompany our carols. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. It will be fab. What you'll see, if you're thinking, well, what will we see? You obviously hear the choir, you'll hear the organ, you'll hear the fabulous quintet. But the idea is you will see bits of them, but you will see me conducting, so that you'll have your score, you'll be singing in the choir with that wonderful sound at the same time, and I will be conducting and bringing you in. So you won't be left on your own, and it's not like a concert where you just sit and watch. The idea is that you will join in at home. If you haven't got the scores and you can't get hold of them in either physical format from a friend or nip down to the local choir vestry and purloin one, the words will come up on the bottom, so you can have a go like that as well. It's going to be very exciting. How much is it, Nick?
It's £10, Matt.
Right?
And we thought, I mean, this is a business thing. This is a bit of fun. It's just some friends getting together, singing some carols with brass. Did I mention the brass?
You did, yes.
And we thought, you know, if everybody kicks in £10, that'll cover the costs. And I think £10 per household. So
Yep.
if there's 2 of you or 3 of you, it's still a tenner.
Brilliant.
You can book that now at our brand new website. It's only got 1 page, but it's called runbysingers.online.
And you'll be...
Don't worry, we'll you through the link and the information. That's where we've got the CD, and it's where we're... Can't really call them tickets, can you? But it's where you sign up to sing carols.
Yes. I went on it just before I came in, and yes, you can order your CD, you can book a seat, and a CD for the Mozart. So yeah, it's all good. It's all there, and it's working great. Couple of people saying you're a little bit quiet, Nick, but I don't think I can do much about that. We're almost at 9 o'clock, and we need to probably get cracking on with Mozart. There is a question that says, can you explain what we will see on YouTube at the Mozart concert again? You will see me. Haha. Yeah, if you don't like my face, then tough.
Oh, come on, Matt. Come on. We'll also have our lovely soloists.
True.
Certainly for the solos.
Yes. So
And we might have a little glimpse of Vienna here and there.
Of course.
It is, after all, virtual Vienna.
Very good.
Run-bys, I'm so sorry that I joined you late. I'm going to blame Zoom. Did I mention I don't like Zoom? And I'm equally sorry that I can't actually see your questions because, yes, the way things were going, technically, I couldn't actually get Zoom and YouTube running simultaneously. I'm clearly not as clever as Matt, but do feel free to write in with your questions.
Yes.
Or at the end, I might go back and do a bit of typing. But yes, don't you just love technology?
Oh, it's amazing to think that we're doing this, and there are people around the world all joining in. I think that's amazing enough. So, yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, wow, aren't we so lucky? Thank you, Nick. Unless you've got anything else to say, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and then run from the pub, where I am now, run from the pub back to my gorgeous evening lounge that you provided me with.
I did just want to say hello to Katie Reed, who was at our very, very first Run by Singers event 17 years ago. It's lovely to see so many familiar names from the Run-bys out there, but it's equally lovely to see so many new people, and I hope when all this ghastly business is over that Matt and I will see you somewhere warm and sunny and lovely to do a proper Run-by singing holiday.
That would be magical, won't it? Yes. Right. Thank you very much, Nick. I'm going to run now from the pub back to rehearsal room, so I'll be with you all in about 10-15 seconds. Okay? See you in a moment. So we're back. Whew. It's lucky that my pub is just right next door, isn't it? And I haven't got far to go. You'll see now the moonlight is casting a beautiful little sheen across the piano and across my sofa here. We've now gone into evening time. Isn't that good? So we're now back in my lovely room and we're going to get on with some singing of Sanctus. And we shall do the same as before. We shall check out some of the little bits and then we shall make a recording opportunity, and hopefully we've got 4 things to get done now, but 2 of them, of course, are very quick. I've managed to bring my drink from the pub, but I will return the glass, honest. Don't know how long I can keep that act up for, but there we are. Let's get cracking. It's lovely, isn't it? Can you imagine? I'd love to go sit there now at that piano and just play some moonlight jazz or something like that. But we're not doing that now. No. We are going to go and do Sanctus. Sanctus. So, let's talk through it. A couple of things. Hopefully you've all got your scores in front of you, and we're back in the Mozart zone now. Bar 5, after we've done Sabaoth, the T of Sabaoth comes just before the bar line. Watch me, and that will allow the basses to take a little sneaky breath before they come in on plainy St. Celi, CH. And when we go into the Hosanna, I'm conducting in 1. So we have a nice bounce, and it has a nice bounce to it. And when we get to the last 2 bars of the piece, we are going to slow down. I'm being conducting in 1, doing this, and then you'll see me go into 1, 2, 3, 1, off. And that's how that ending goes. Okay? Should we just have a listen to the speed of this beginning before we have a go?
Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus.
So you can see and hear where all those S's come, and we want to be really, really clean with those. Here we go. Let's do a recording opportunity. If it doesn't work for you, don't worry. Here we go. Sanctus. Clap with me on beat 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Sanctus, 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 Dominus Deus Sabat, Penis und Celi et terra, Gloria, Gloria, Gloria tua. Hosanna in excelsis, Hosanna in excelsis, Hosanna in
Good. Turn that one off. Yes, Elizabeth Fletcher, how fantastic is that? You come late to the rehearsal and still catch up with the beginning. That wouldn't normally happen, would it? You'd be coming in at the back of the rehearsal room and everyone would be turning around going... But you're very welcome to come whenever you like, leave whenever you like, join whenever you like, do as much as you like whenever you like. So that's the beauty of it. Good. That was a quickie one. And now Benedictus. Benedictus. we're going to pick that up from bar 52. Yeah? Bar 52 is where we pick that one up on the Benedictus, and that leads us into the Hosanna where the tenors kick us off. But again, we're in one, making it, yeah, if the runs all morph into one, make sure you hit the first dun, 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 then that'll be fine. If the gin is starting to kick in, then maybe now is not necessarily a good time to record. But enjoy the gin and enjoy the learning, yes? So we get to the end of the Hosanna of this one, of Benedictus, and it's even more of a slowdown now on the last 2 bars. Shall cease. And it's that last S that on the recording is a little bit hit and miss. So watch me, and if we all do it in the same place, it will sound fantastic. Sneaky Hosanna. It's a great one, isn't it? Remember, it reminds me of Christmas, that one. There's something just about that bounce. And just imagine what you're singing. Hosanna, woohoo! Yeah? Not Hosanna, yay! Party time, yeah? Without the G&T. So, bar 52 is where we're going to pick up from. Let's just remind ourselves of the beginning. So, we're going to start with the tenors.
Hosanna in excelsis.
Etc. And we're doing eggshells. Eggshells. Some of them do eggshells, some of them do exhale. There's all different sorts. We are going to try and do eggshells as in... Okay? Eggshells. That's how we're going to do it. So, let's make a recording opportunity. Let's get that light on. Boom. And where are we? Benedictus. So from bar 52. Oh, we all need to clap, don't we? 1, 2, 3.
Hosanna in excelsis. Hosanna in excelsis. In
And that's short, isn't it? Over and done with. There's some comments there, people like saying, oh, their volume's not quite right and things like that. Yeah, if you prefer, go back to the sectional rehearsals and sing along with an alto there. This is the choice that you have of either singing with a group or singing with your individual part turned up loudly, because the sound that comes out timing wise is exactly the same notes, etc. So it doesn't matter which one you do, it will all be the same synchronization, which is the great thing. Well done, Lorna, for having a better time on that one. Good. So we got our last 2 now, Agnus Dei and then Lus Aeterna. And then it's the end. Agnus Dei, let's have a quick look through that and see if there's anything we need to discuss before we go through. Broad, strong, broad-shouldered almost. Agnus, not snarly, and it's not necessarily happy, it's just straight down to the camera, yes, or out in the front of the stage, doing a proper Les Mis moment. Couple of other little things. Sopranos, just a reminder, bar 11, 12, 13. Requiem. The appoggiatura is an A, not a B flat. Dynamic contrast will be great. And right at the end, on the last 4 bars, if we can have some of the 60s things. Yeah, so we have a crescendo and then a little bit coming down and a slowing down as well. Okay? That is all of it. So, we will create our recording opportunity in a moment. Let's just have a listen or sing along with the first page.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi.
Good. Remember all those long notes, just give it a little bit. And we're not going straight in on Agnus, we're aiming for Dei. Agnus Dei, that's where we're heading for each time, okay? Second one of the bar. We've got some loud bits coming up and some soft bits, all of those dynamics, see if we can get them in. Watch me. Another shortish one, just lulling us into a full sense of security before we go into our last number. So, yes. Shall we create a recording opportunity? Our penultimate one. Up. Just turn myself off there. There we go. Agnus Dei, clap with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi. Dona eis Requiem. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi. Eis Requiem.
Whoa. Take the light off. Very good. Lovely. So, last swig of wine with you before we sing our last number. Although I'm not singing, I am just moving my mouth. Lux Aeterna. Now, this is a recording we're going to have a go at singing with. There's a little bit of orchestra basically in the background and the organ. So it's not what you'll hear on the night, because on the night, hopefully, there'll be 100, 200, 300, 1,000 singers. We don't know how many tracks, but all of you lot sending in your tracks, singing along, and the orchestra, and therefore the organ probably disappears. But for now, you'll have the organ, plus you'll hear a little bit of trumpet maybe, a little bit of bass, some strings hidden in the background there. But we'll only do this once, because it's a blast, isn't it? It's 5 minutes and 1 second, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps on going, doesn't it? So a couple of things before we go for it and sing it. Let's have a flick through. Let's go to where we go into the Cum Sanctus Tuis, and it's the bases. You've got to be ready in the starting blocks. I'm on page 99 of my PDF score, or bar 30, where we finish with our Eis, and our Eis is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're off on 5, and on that off, on the off, I start 1, 2, Cum Sanctus Tu. So on that one, okay. So it goes Eis, Cum Sanctus, and off we go. And we keep on blasting our way through our Cum Sanctis. And when we get to the end, we've written in the extra words if you are following the PDF score. And if we count back from the end, 3 bars from the end, bar 80, the num of Aeternum, we're going to hold for 7 counts, off on 7. Then I conduct 1, 2, 3 in the silence. We then sing Quia P, and we go through to the end, and the last S we hold again for 7, and off on the 7th beat. And don't let that S disappear, just keep it going as much as you can. Then you can do your S, and then you can take a lie down and a swig and do lots of woo woo woo, we did it, or take a bow, whatever you want to do. Of course you might not have recorded it yet, so you might do your bow later. So shall we make a moment? Let's go back to the beginning. I'm just scrolling back. We have our soprano solo at the beginning, so we don't need to get our tempo or anything. We're just gonna go for it, and it's gonna sound magical. So recording opportunity coming. Ready? With me on number 3. 1, 2, 3. Lux Aeterna. See you in 5 minutes and 1 second.
Sanctus,
And then the Tim plays a solo. Fantastic. Wow. Excellent. You've got all of that, of course, on YouTube to go back to, listen to, play as much as you like. You can have a listen to that orchestra a little bit. As I tell you, it's not the mix that you'll hear on the night, because that is just a mix that was done quickly together just to give you a flavour that there are real instruments playing along with you. And eventually, of course, the balance will be better because there will be loads of singers, which will be fantastic because it go on the CD, we sell the CD, we make loads of dosh for Requiem to Cancer, which is great. Oh, did you lose it? Yes, I know this is the last time we'll be together like this all over the world for the next 2 weeks. But when we do the concert, the chat will be there before the concert and afterwards. Hopefully while the concert is going, you won't be chatting because you'll be sitting there singing, yeah, all the way through. Who'd have thought that we could have pulled off 2 weeks, yeah, Mozart's Requiem. Please read the emails from Nick that are coming out in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, telling you how to submit, remember the chart, etc. through the website. Thank you so much for all your thanks, by the way. Please make sure you read it. I know it's so easy. There's so much stuff coming out these days to gloss over it. Most of the answers to most of your questions will probably be in that email. Because knowing Nick, and I do know Nick, he usually covers all bases. Yeah, and not bases. Well, he is a base, but covers all situations. Has thought of everything. It's great. Hard work. Yeah, it's going to be so fab, isn't it? To have a CD that you'll be able to like sell to people. You'll be able to tell people, look, I'm on this CD. Buy a copy and raise some money. I mean, that would be fantastic. And one of the things you could do, of course, is you could get people to do that now because they can pre-order. Therefore, you know how some people like to say, oh, at Christmas time, I always donate some money at Christmas time. This is their opportunity to support you, get a CD. Yes, it won't be in time for Christmas, but the money goes in the big pot, yeah, which will be lovely. So I will see you on the 5th, and then hopefully many of you will come and join us for the Invisible Carols for Choirs. Oh, look, there was a moment of green. Can you see that? There's a moment of green. No, it's gone. Thank you very much for being patient with me as well. Sometimes I go a bit too fast, maybe. I don't know. It's been great, and thank you for all your feedback. Nice chatting with a few of you on Twitter and Facebook. We had somebody asking me about breathing and a bit of husk air coming out. Yes, Google singing with straw. It's a fantastic little technique where you sing with a straw in a glass of water, and it really helps visualize where air is going through. So it's a great technique. Have a look out for that. I'm getting really... Yeah, shall we have a virtual round of applause for Nick, who's probably tearing his hair out at the moment, but a round of applause for Nick. Thank you for asking me and bringing us all together. Yes, I know. Put that in front of... That is just weird, isn't it? I could have it... Oh, there it is. There it is, green. Definitely green. In front. Yeah. Woohoo! I'm looking forward to it. So, anything else? Wonderful experience. Thank you. I'm just going to prattle on for a few more minutes because I like reading your comments. It's lovely. Yes, clap. Look at that. Oh, one for me. Thank you. I'll take a bow. I'll just prove I've got legs. Look, there's a leg. Some of you might not think that. But I have got legs. Yes, I'm full. And I won't show you my green screen because that will spoil the illusion of this beautiful, beautiful moonlight here. Great. Thank you very much. I'm going to end it there. and then I can get putting the links in for you so that you can go back, and in the description, if you haven't worked it out already, literally underneath where the video comes up for tonight, in the description before the comments, you'll see links that you can click on, and it should take you to the red light moment. Okay? And then you can do your recording from there. A bit more of that Moonlight Jazz. Shall I just give you a bit more? In Moonlight Jazz, in an A430. Don't often get this at the end of the rehearsal, do you? There you are. That was a little bit of Moonlight Jazz for you. See you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.